Hello, everybody. Sunday Adelaja here. Okay. Anybody joining us already? Bola Luro, you are the first one here. Nikki Ojimadu, blessings. Rochelle White. This family time, parenting. Nice to see you all again. Nice to see everyone again. Parenting with Adelaja family. Hello, Faith. Long time. Faith Kenny. Akinleye Kehinde, blessings. Nkiro Ojimadu, we are live. Obi Ojimadu is here as well. Nice to see you. Welcome, guys. Welcome to practical class. Practical class in parenting. I hope this will be a blessing to you people and you'll be able to share this with your family and with your people. Ooh, look who came on. Lindy, Pastor Lindy from South Africa. Wow, Lindy Macaulay. Hi. We are doing great here. I'm here with the family today. I'm here with the girls because parents is grown up. He's become big and he's in university now. And Pastor Bosse is leading night prayers tonight. So she is in the church leading prayers, and I'm here with the kids. And we are going to do this class today together with the children. So just trying to show some practical examples to people back at home, or people who are in their various countries, in their sitting rooms and parlors and couches, and want to just glean into how we raise up our children and how I personally try to develop critical thinking and bring forth values in the kids. It's all about values. It's all about how strong your values are, because this world is a war zone. And when they leave the family, they are going to be face to face with the world, cruel world, difficult world, trying world. And then they will be able to, stand for themselves. And that depends on how much value system that we raise in them, how much values we put into them. So, we're here with the kids. We are going to start the class right now. So anybody who is interested, let's go ahead and share the link. We could go ahead and share the link. Let's go share the link and invite our friends. And maybe somebody could go and share this link as well in the groups, History Makers group, Dr. Sunday Adelaja Live, Messenger, just all the group where our people are. Let's go share it as we continue our class. We have different styles of that we use to conduct our classes. Sometimes we use films. Sometimes we use documentaries. Sometimes we use some of my messages. Sometimes we use some of my books. Sometimes we use, quotations. Sometimes we use the Bible. We could use anything to be the source of our class, but the very important thing is the value that we want to communicate. So today we are going to be using one of the classes, one of the books that I'm yet to publish, a book that we are still working on that is about to be completed. So this is a new book that we're going to use as our manual for training today, for teaching today. And we're going to be using that to study with the girls. So here we go. Okay. All right, guys, here we are. So the book we are going to be using to talk today is called, can you say it? Can they read it? I want you to be able to, so that they will be able to read it. I don't think it's big enough so that they will read. Okay. So this is a book, a new book that I'm going to be releasing this year maybe or next year. It's called Creative and Inventive Power of a Genius. So we are going to go through the main content of this book with the girls. So you see this Paul there, and this is Zoe, the senior firstborn of the girls, and then there's the second child. So who started the last time?
Zoe.
When we did it? You did? Okay, can we go through the book?
Creative and Inventive Power of a Genius.
Mm-hmm.
By Dr. Sunday.
Sunday Adelaja.
Adelaja.
Yeah, so what will you say about the topic?
I said that most people, when they think of the word genius, they think of genius as an intellectual way, like how high their IQ is. And so this book will draw people because it says the creative and inventive part of a genius, which is using their right brain, as opposed to using their left brain, which most people associate genius with. And it's also showing that anyone could be a genius with their
You might need to speak louder because it's far away a little bit.
And it's also saying that anyone could be a genius with their creative and inventive side. So anyone can just, this book will implies that how you can use your abilities, your powers, your resources, what you have, in a way that a genius would, in a genius way.
Okay. What do you think about the title?
Creative and Inventive Power of a Genius by Dr. Sunday Adelaja. So I think that this is just exploring different sides of a genius, what makes a genius, and also what can make a genius. Because I suppose that when we talk about genius, we just talk about how smart they are and how amazing they are compared to everyone else. And like, what can they bring to the world, what their name is, but we don't talk about like what makes them, what
made them?
Yeah, what makes a genius, and what can make anyone a genius. So the creative and inventive power of a genius, I think it's going to.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to explore all the ways that a genius can create and invent. Not only to create a genius in themselves, but also to use their genius to create something that will transform the world.
Okay, so chapter 1 here says,
Geniuses are made, not born. Should we read all of it, or just?
Yeah, you got one by one.
A look into the lives.
No, one by one.
Geniuses are made, not born. So, like I said, people think of the word genius, they think of the IQ, and most geniuses are born with the high IQ. But this book says that even you could be a genius, even you can have the potential.
You didn't say that, yes? You just said geniuses are
made and not born, which means you can make yourself into a genius, which means even you could be a genius. Even you can develop yourself and do what you have to do, and get to where you need to be the same power and effect of a genius, the same level of a genius. So it gives hope to everybody.
Yeah, continue.
A look into the lives of few geniuses. So this father provides examples of geniuses, most likely examples people know, maybe a few examples that are not so well known, but it's an example. Through those examples, it's going to show what this book is going to contain and how we're going to get to their level, and it's an example of what to expect for us to become by the end of this book. Develop your genius doing what you love. So this reminds us of the title, the creative and inventive power of a genius. So you can be creative and inventive with what you love to do, and you can be a genius with what you love to do. Because many people, inventors, they became inventors because they love science and they love math. and they love science and love mathematics. And the reason they created new inventions and affected the world because they did it through what they love. So the chapter "Develop Your Genius, Doing What You Love" says that you can, through what you love, you can work with it like a genius and become more like a genius using what you love, not just like intellectual and not just your left or right brain, just what you love and what your ability is, what your gift is.
Okay. You want to do chapter 2, or you want to repeat the same thing?
No, I'll do chapter 2.
Okay.
Chapter 2. Genius ability without work is useless. So, I think that they're saying that, well, before they said that anyone can be a genius, anyone can develop their genius, but if you don't develop your genius, I think that's what's being said in the second chapter, if you don't develop your genius, then it's useless. You're basically not a genius because you're not doing anything with it, and there's no success, there's no achievement of a goal without action. And so I think that this is like something like people with talent, of course they can like succeed like pretty easily, but if they don't work on their talent, then it will just waste away. And the person that has worked hard will be able to easily beat the person that has natural talent. And I think it's the same with genius. Maybe there's a person that like was born into a rich family and they could go to a prestigious school and they just had so many opportunities right at the palm of their hand and everybody could see them and just they had every opportunity. But they just like, maybe they got prideful or something, or maybe they were just lazy and they decided that they were not going to like go the extra mile or exploit any of these resources. Well, someday some person that is from just some unknown village can like score higher than them and impact the world eventually better than them because they worked hard. They developed their geniuses, but the first one who would be expected by society to become a perfect genius didn't.
So the point here is what?
That even any genius would not be a genius if they didn't work hard and develop that genius in them.
So, what, do you want to comment on that? So, what this is saying is that even if you are born a genius, that ability will result in nothing. It will be useless if you don't work hard.
Yes.
So, it means that it is actually hard work that makes the genius. So when we spoke in the first chapter that geniuses are made, they are not born. So if geniuses are not born, what makes them?
Hard work.
Hard work. What makes geniuses?
Hard work.
So any one of us could become, I can become a genius then?
Yes.
Can I become a genius?
Yes.
What about you?
Yes. Anybody on earth can become a genius if they put the effort into it.
What about you?
Yes, I can become a genius if I work hard and develop my genius.
What does it depend on?
On how hard I work.
How hard I work. Hard work.
So it includes determination, perseverance, and motivation, but hard work to keep on working hard.
Oh, persistence.
Yeah.
Okay, did you finish chapter 2?
Academic prowess is not synonymous to wealth. So this part of the chapter is challenging the idea that if you go to a good school or if you do well in school, then you're obviously immediately successful in life. But I don't think that life is as simple as a school system. Because you think that if a person is like kicked out of school or they didn't do as well in school as they're expected to, then of course they cannot be a genius at all. They just failed and their life will be a failure. But that's not true. If you work hard on yourself, even if, for example, you fail school, like Albert Einstein said that he failed school and school failed him, you can still become a genius. Because school does not define geniusness. Of course, if you work hard in school, if you get good grades in school, that's good. I mean, that might develop some things in you that might help you develop your genius in the future. But what's important is how hard you work, and on yourself first of all, to develop the genius in you, and not on how well you get in school. Because the grade, most of the time, is just a number, and school is really just a little part of your life.
Now, I want you to read that statement and tell me what you understand by academic prowess.
Academic prowess is not a synonymous to wealth.
Mm-hmm. Louder.
Academic prowess is not synonymous to wealth. Like Pearl said, she used examples. I'm sure in the first chapter where you put a look into the lives of a few geniuses, you also put a few examples of people who became geniuses not only through academic, but like after that. You could have like straight A's at school and straight A's at college without working hard. Or you could just have straight A's just for the sake of grades, just for the sake of putting it onto the application or your transcript or something to make you look good. But if you don't have a goal, if you don't have anything you're striving for, and if you don't have a plan on how to get there, then you definitely won't be a genius. You won't go anywhere. And wealth is not how the A's on your report card, and wealth is not how much money you get. Wealth is what you do, what you produce, and what you give to the world, your contribution to the world, to society, and people around you, and the lives around you.
Okay, so if a genius then must contribute something to the world.
Through what they love.
Okay.
Through the hard work.
What are you doing right now in your own life to try to help you so that you don't just live an empty life, but become a genius in your own class?
Well, I try, of course, to do my best in school, and I go to contribute to others. I go to like an orphanage every Saturday. But for work on myself, I work on drawing and I work on writing, and I study how animations are made and movies are made because they interest me, and maybe someday they'll be handy, but I don't plan on it. And I also I work at school, I sing a choir at school, and I go to vocal lessons because I want to affect the world mostly through singing. And I have thoughts that I think about, and I want to talk to people about them because these are thoughts that most people have. And I want to find more solid answers that lead more towards the right path than just having a wrong conclusion and ruining your life, essentially, at the end.
So that's the psychological part of our life.
Yeah, one of them.
We want to provide answers to the questions of life. Okay, what are you doing, or what are you going to be doing to mature your own, to make sure that your geniusness manifests?
Well, recently I've been, recently I've been trying to work on myself more intensely, and especially I read the Bible a lot and try to pick up verses that apply to me, and focusing on what is in heaven and what is in the kingdom of God instead of me. Because I have a habit of letting my desires triumph over everything, over what is righteous and over what I know I should do and over what I need. Sometimes I work harder towards my desires, not towards what I need to do. So yeah, right now I'm trying to read the Bible every day, especially things about how we are made in Christ's image, for Christ, for the duties He's already predestined for us. So we shouldn't just be thinking about earthly things that will just vanish away like a mist. So yeah, and those are the things I've been trying to imprint into myself.
That's what you're doing to yourself. What will you bring that? Where is genius in what you've just said now? Where is genius in what you've just said? The question I'm asking is, what are you going to do? What are you doing? In what area do you want to bring your genius?
Well, I want to bring out my genius through writing and stuff, and so to do that I have a blog, and I try to write a lot more frequently than I did before. and I want I want to give good ideas to the world. I want my voice to be heard, and I want to share real wisdom and things that are, even though they'll explain lots of things, they're written in a simple way that anyone can understand. And that's why I write poetry and some analysis of things that I agree with or things that I notice in everyday life.
Okay, what about books?
Oh yes, I write books too. I write kind of stories that reflect some values.
That's what you're already doing, but it's not just what we are. The question I'm asking is not just what you are doing already, but what you are getting yourself prepared towards. It's like, for example, if Einstein is here just studying chemistry, he's just getting ready to use that to invent something. So that's what we are in the process right now. You are still young, you are in the process of preparation. But everything you are doing today is preparing you towards something bigger. That's where geniusness is necessary. Genius is necessary. Where are we?
Chapter
3. Yeah?
No, discover the great treasure in you.
Okay. That's you, eh?
Speak
Yes.
loud and clear.
Discover the great treasure in you through work. So I think this is talking about how every person has a great potential in them. Every person can do so many great things because they're born on this planet, which is perfect for them, and usually they have a voice, or they have arms, or they have hands, they have a body, they have a spirit, and they just have everything that a human body comes with. And even disabled people, they can impact the world in so many ways, through music and through public speaking and even through sports. We have those opportunities in the world today, as long as they work hard at it. But, and every single human has potential. Every single one. But if you're just sitting around, if you're just idle, if you're never working towards anything, if you have no goal and you just are waiting for life to go by, if you're just like the devil's workshop because you're idle, then of course you won't find any treasure in you. You'll just be looking at everybody else.
So what is the instrument of discovering the genius in me?
Hard work.
So everybody can use hard work to discover that he's a genius.
Yes.
Okay? Do you agree with that?
Yes, if they focus it on themselves. Because we read before about the more you discover yourself, the more you find out that no one is better than you.
Yeah, but so discover the treasure, the great treasure, the genius in you through hard work.
To do hard work towards doing what you love. And what you love is a purpose that God put in you. And that is the purpose of your life on earth. Just your whole life should be working on a plan towards achieving that purpose and putting it further and further into motion. And to get there and to achieve your purpose even greater, you have to work on yourself to be better. You have to research more. You have to have more proof and backup plans and backup points. And to find out more and more about yourself, more and more about your purpose, and to develop your genius even more and more.
Okay, 3.
Do not waste your genius. Develop your nation.
Your nation, your world.
So, your genius, once you find out what you love, what your purpose is, what you're going to do, and you work hard with it, it says do not waste your genius. It's a crime to just find out all this potential and treasure within you and keep it to yourself and not share it with the world, not share it with people around you, your community, your society. So you have to collect people to pass on your light, pass on your stick, pass on your knowledge, pass on the secrets to success, secrets of life, secrets to your genius, like you're doing with the book. And for them to grow, so that when you die, your legacy will not die. And you have followers, people, you have planted seeds and proof of your existence, proof of your effect on this world. So to not let your genius die. So invest in it and plant it in different places so it'll grow even more and multiply.
Okay, that's the same as this, but this one.
Wrong orientation and value system undermines national development. Okay, so I don't know if you mentioned this before, but a set of values is very important. Okay, if, like I said before, if what's important to you was like how your grade report looks like, just A's and just looking good for other people, that's not a very good value system. That won't get you anywhere. You won't grow. You won't succeed. If your value system is God and to please Him and to like the genius, if you're a genius, you already have to do it for what you love. So your value system has to be your purpose and fulfilling it and planning a journey for yourself, a plan for yourself to get to fulfill your purpose, fulfill using what you love to change the world in the future. And your values should be like high, good moral standards, but your priority should be your purpose. You shouldn't try to get to your purpose with bad, naughty, shady tricks. You have to be honest and true and hardworking and diligent and perseverance. There's no easy way to success. You have to work hard. And it says that the wrong orientation value system undermine national development because if you have the wrong priorities, the wrong set of beliefs, then you won't grow and you won't develop. And even if you will grow and succeed, it's going to be very short-lived. And once you die, it dies. Even if you have a nation, they'll all die because they'll be fake. They won't be strong and sturdy. Because what is honest and true is not easy. It's hard work and devotion and perseverance. And if you have the right value system and the right orientation, and you teach others the right way to be straight and upright and righteous, then they will last. Okay? Hardship should awaken your genius, not kill it. This is a very common topic, but by now, everybody should know that failure is necessary for success. They might seem like opposites, but there's no success without prior failures. Failures make you stronger because you learn from your mistakes and you learn how to handle failures better. And like I said, failures make you stronger. Once you overcome a failure, it means that you have overcome a step. So you're one step closer. You've overcome a hardship. And you know, like I said, how to handle better with them future. Once you handle a failure, that means you're smarter than you were before and you're more ahead and more advanced than you were before. And so it does awaken the genius. It makes you use your mind more, how to overcome the situation and make notes. And it doesn't kill it. I mean, it only kills it if you let it die. If you just give up and you say, this is too hard for me, I wasn't expecting this, whatever. But if you really want to be a genius and use your genius to do what you love, then you will go through the failures. You will know that it's not an easy journey. It's not an easy path.
Okay. 4, right?
Chapter 4. Do not abuse your genius. Invest it. And the contents are like the story of Satan, the genius.
Invest it, yeah, don't worry. Scammer, just in general. Take that in general.
The genius of Nigerian scammers.
Yeah, just look through them yourself and explain your concepts.
So I think this is talking about, as we've said before.
Repeat the main idea. 4.
Do not abuse your genius. Invest it. So I think this is talking about how, of course, again, every human has an amazing amount of potential in them, treasure. And if they work hard, they can discover it and they can change the world through it. However, that doesn't mean it's going to be a positive impact. Here it says things like the Boko Haram genius and the genius of Nigerian scammers. And these are people that knew that they could use certain factors, they could work hard, and they could change something. And they did bring about their change. However, it wasn't for national transformation, and it wasn't for
national development.
Yeah, and it wasn't for national development. I think that the motives between these ones were like greed and like obsession with something. So these were the wrong value systems and the wrong orientation, and that proves how it's true that the wrong orientations and value systems undermine national development. Because the Boko Haram people, they had a goal. They had a goal to make a country that was completely for their God, because they were obsessed with loving their God so much they'd even just like probably kill the whole world for him. And they worked hard towards that. They found a treasure in them, that they could be strong, that they could overpower people, that they could use human nature to their advantage. But because they had the wrong value systems, because they were not focused on the right things and had the wrong set of beliefs, they caused such tragic events in Nigeria. And the same thing with Nigerian scammers. They learned and collected data on how to trick people, where they usually are, and just like how to take their money. And they had to work to do that. And they had to
Be smart.
yeah, be smart and use the potential in them. However, it was based on greed and trying to get more for themselves. So it of course did bad things and undermined national development. And that's because they had the wrong orientation again. So like as it said, don't abuse your genius. When you develop your genius, make sure that you're developing it for the right things. Make sure that you want to impact the world in a good way, that you want to solve its problems, because you are a genius and because you can change the world completely.
But some people use their genius just for themselves.
Yes.
Some people use their genius, maybe not really into some perverted, to do some perverted things, or how it says here, to do some, some evil things. But they just use their genius to make more money for themselves or to become more famous. What is the difference between what we are saying now and those people who just live for themselves with their genius? Use their genius to make a name for themselves. What is the right thing to do? So if I'm not going to use my genius to make a name for myself and make money for myself, what do I use it for? What's the right way to use it?
Didn't we say to build a nation? Because we wouldn't have been anywhere without the world. The world had to accompanied you.
But the world will also, the nation and the world will also pass away one day.
Okay, so we're talking Christians?
No, generally, everybody must be able to do something eternal with their lives. But we still start before God.
We all have a purpose and something that we love. The genius we should have made it do what we love. So like I said, the purpose of our lives, God gave us something that we love because that is our purpose. Our purpose is going to be connected with something that we love, the thing that we love. So our whole lives, we should use our genius to strive toward the purpose, to get to the purpose, and to use what we love to affect and help others, to help the world, help at least those who helped us, help the society, help the country, help lives around us, affect others around us. Because, as I said before, it's a crime, it's a sin to just have something good and treasure and keep it to yourself, while you see others who are in need of it and you don't offer them help.
So a lot of people just use their name and their genius to make a name for themselves and to make money for themselves and live for their families. What is wrong about that, and what's the right way to live?
Well, because I think that your genius isn't given to you just so that you, one person with all the potential that you have inside of you, can profit off it. And when you die, then literally nothing will be left, because some people, they use their genius to find life-changing revelations and to make life-changing inventions that just revolutionized the earth forever, and it was an eternal and lasting impact. But if you are just using your genius for yourself, then all that will probably be left is maybe some destruction or corruption, but just in the end, a bad memory and a bad reputation. Your life will be meaningless, basically. Even though you had genius and you developed it, nothing of meaning will have been left, and that's a waste.
Because life is eternal. Life itself is eternal. Everybody's life is eternal. We were made in heaven. Our life is spirit. Our life started in the spirit from God. So what our parents gave us is only the body where we live. We all need a mother and father just to create the body. So pregnancy, family is only for body manufacturing, for creation of body, for the man that God created in the spirit to live in. But we are eternal. So since we are eternal and we are eternal being, it means that everything we do must be eternal. Everything we do, the focus is that it will be eternal, because the flesh is temporal. The earth is temporary. So everything we do with our genius should be to bring eternal effect and eternal, benefit. So that's why Jesus said to put on your treasure in heaven, where there will be nothing, no thief, no stealing, nothing will touch it. Okay, there is another quality of a genius here that we're going to look at, chapter 5.
Do not, chapter 5? Okay. The thinking power of a genius. So, as geniuses who have a purpose through what they love, we shouldn't just act without thinking. We're already building a nation. We're already established that we're going to affect others and not just keep everything for ourselves. And so we have power because we have followers, we have people who are affecting. We shouldn't just make decisions without thinking about them. Rash, selfish decisions that just seem easy. We shouldn't just make choices out of instinct and emotions and what other people are doing. We are geniuses, and geniuses are like, even though the book is about intellectual and creativeness, geniuses are also known for the intellectual. Geniuses, we should be geniuses to what we love in every aspect that we can, with our talent and emotion and spiritual and intellectual and creative and everything. So, everything happens, everything that we do, it starts in the brain. Our brain gets a command for us what to say and where the hand should go, what to do. So we should think through every action that we do. Think through possible consequences. Think of a backup plan.
Okay, the question I have here is, don't you think that the ability to think strong and hard and study and think is also contributing to it's one of the things that creates? It's not just hard work that creates the genius, but his ability to think, to engage himself in thinking, to engage his mind, is what makes him that genius.
Mm-hmm. So, if you think hard enough,
So to become a genius, you've got to think hard enough.
You have to think hard enough. Think hard enough of new and creative ways that haven't been actualized yet.
Yes.
Because, everything starts with a thought. And then the thought grows and it gets adapted and gets added. But it's harder and harder to think of new thoughts because the easy ones are already taken. And every day we keep on growing and discovering new things, and that's more room for new thoughts.
Yeah.
But we have to go through lots of layers and lots of things that have already been created and been actualized to think of something new. It's already there. You already have an idea somewhere. You already have everything you need to create an idea. You just have to dig deep.
That's the idea. Now read the next phrase here.
Worrying versus thinking. Worrying is just wondering, what if this, what if that?
No, who is worrying? Is it the genius that is worrying?
No.
Okay, who is the person worrying?
The failure.
Okay, that's the idea here. The idea here is that people who fail in life fail because instead of them to use their mind and to engage their mind in creative thinking, in thinking of ideas, thinking of creativity, instead of thinking with their mind all the time about what they could do, how they could do it, they are busy worrying about one problem or the other.
They're busy being controlled by fear.
Okay.
Fear.
So I want you to expatiate on that. Read that one again, please.
Worrying versus thinking.
So what does the two mean? Explain to us what that mean. How does it differentiate?
Worrying, you're always wondering what could go wrong.
Who is worrying? You have to tell us.
Failure is always thinking.
So people who fail in life,
Yes.
They fail because they're always worrying.
They always worry.
Okay.
And people who succeed, They're always thinking of, they know what the warriors are thinking about. They know the possible consequences and the options, but they think of backup plans. They think of how, they think, and that's why they know what risk to take and what risk not to take. And they usually make their decisions because they know how much is on stake. They know how it could affect people and how much it can affect. And they know.
So if you want to become a genius, what do you need to reject and what do you need to embrace? According to this.
You have to reject worrying and fear, and you have to embrace hard work in the mind, like thinking hard and working hard and researching hard to find out everything that's on stake and how it can affect everything, because everything that you do comes from the thinking first, the process and the thought.
So through thinking, you develop yourself. Through thinking, you discover yourself. Genius make themselves to become who they are because they think hard and they think all the time. But people who never discover their geniusness and who they are, who never become genius, is because they are worrying and thinking about mundane things of life, about vanity, about the vanity things of life. They are thinking about their problems too much. They are thinking about life situation. They are worrying too much. They are worrying, thinking about the wrong things, thinking about their fears. So people who live and thinking about their fears, their concerns, their worries, they never become anything in life. They become failures. But people who are always thinking about what legacy they want to leave in the world, how they want to impact their world, how they want to change the world, how they could create something, how they could become better, they are the ones who change the world, who become genius.
Worrying doesn't lead to anything, but the thinkers who think of solutions, that is actually a thing that could happen. So they do bring something to the world, but worrying is just stating the obvious and it doesn't bring anything, not a single ounce.
Okay. Then there are those who don't think.
Are you a lazy thinker?
Yep.
So, like I said before, you can use the excuse of thinking, but only think one layer deep and not think of backup plans if something were to go wrong, if something were to go not as planned, because you never know what can happen. Nothing goes everything completely according to plan in everyone's lives every day. So you can't just use the excuse, oh, I thought about it a little bit, how could I have seen this? Because if you're really devoted and if you really want it to work, if you're really passionate about it, you had to create backup plans, and you'd have made precautions to make sure some things wouldn't happen. Talk to people to try to keep things the way they should be. So a lazy thinker means that you also have lazy actions, and you have a lazy mindset, a lazy determination. You're not really too determined at all. You're just weak and soft and don't care too much about it.
Okay.
If you're not thinking, then you're assuming. If you're not thinking, then you won't get very far because you won't grow. You won't be any better than anyone else. Everybody else is just assuming also. If you're not thinking, then you're not taking any new information for you to think over, for you to process, for you to digest, and create new ideas with. If you're not thinking, you're just taking what you already know and assuming things without actually going out of your way to confirm them. You're just assuming things that you hear and that you see, and you're not even thinking to check, maybe that's not true. You're not even questioning them. You're just going to be gullible. And if you believe a lie and you believe it as to be the truth, then that will bring a downfall.
Okay. What are the other ways that geniuses are created? 6.
Chapter 6. The studying habits of a genius. So I think this chapter, just like the last chapter was about how thinking and the power to engage their mind is also what makes a genius, this shows the study habits of a genius and that geniuses need to study. And I think it's
And it's because they study. That's why they became geniuses in the first place.
Yes.
And only by studying, people become geniuses.
And I think that it's important that they said the studying habits of a genius, because habits are just like your actions, which of course determine your destiny. And if you have bad habits, then of course it will be a lot harder to go on and go. I mean, the path to success will start, of course, with having to eliminate all of those bad habits, because they control your constant actions. But if you have good study habits, and if you're going to engage your brain and be thinking like before, then that will be just a big help to developing your genius. And it says here, show me a great genius who doesn't study. And I think, and that's true. I mean, like, which genius doesn't study? It's not like they're just born with a gigantic brain and they're like, okay, E equals MC squared from the womb, and they just know everything and they don't need to study at all. Of course not. Even the people that we call geniuses in society, even if they dropped out of school, they always would study and experiment and work on themselves. So it's very important for a genius to have a habit of studying. And I think that Daddy made a good point that show me a great genius that doesn't study, because that's a very good reinforcement to his point, to give examples. And if you can give one example, then I'd be very interested to hear that. But I think that really there are no geniuses that don't study, and it is just a key part to making a genius.
Okay, we're halfway in the book, and I think that's enough for now. But the idea is that, why do we need geniuses? Because they contribute to the advancement and progress also of our civilization.
Yes.
So why do we need geniuses?
Well,
Why should you strive to be a genius?
I want to strive to be a genius because I think that there are many things wrong in the world today, and there's many things in which I want the world to hear my voice, and I want the world to maybe change its ways. Because I think there's lots of voices in the world that the world is accepting, but I think are wrong and will ultimately be more degrading to the world than beneficial. So I want to use my talents and my hard work and anything that I study and anything that I think deeply about to be able to influence the world so much that they are able to turn from any pernicious and insidious ways.
Okay, what will you say?
I think the genius is the best way you can influence the world
By becoming a genius?
by becoming a genius, is by working hard intellectually, physically, spiritually, emotionally, like I said, mentally. And it's to take everything you have and use it to your advantage and look for things that aren't offered to you, go out of your way to fight for it, to change the world in a better way, to take everything, to get as much as you can, to bend it to your will, so that it works towards your purpose through doing what you love, and affect the world and leave something in the world after you die, so that after you die you know that you've made the world better, that you made an effect and you left an impact and a mark on this world, and you weren't just another one who was forgotten and bored.
Well, do you know there are a lot of people out there who are thinking that only a few people are meant to be geniuses?
They're thinking of the intellectual geniuses. Think of people who are born with extraordinary talents. But if they've ever been in a sports or anything, or they went to health class, they know that if you work, then you can succeed the person who was born with extraordinary talents. If the person with extraordinary talent doesn't work,
You can exceed it.
you can exceed. The person with extraordinary talents who is born with a greater advantage in you, if they don't work, if they just get B's without studying, then you can work and be better than them. So it doesn't stop you. It gives them an advantage, but it doesn't mean that you can't get to where they are, and you can't even get to be better than where they are. In fact, it may be even harder for ones who have the doubts, since they have less motivation to work hard, so they think they're already so great.
I think that the people that think that there's only a few people that need to be geniuses in this world, that could become geniuses in this world, then I think that they have no right to complain about anything in the world, because they've decided from the beginning of their lives, okay, I have a voice, I have a brain that can think, obviously, and I've come to this conclusion that I'm not going to change anything, I'm just going to sit here. So if they're just if you're just saying that only a few people can become geniuses, they're literally just saying that the point of my life is just anything except to change the world. Then they have no right to complain about anything in the world or anything like that. And they can be slaves or something, because apparently they view themselves inferior to everybody else. So I don't understand. Like, maybe if all the people that thought that were disabled or they had some serious mental trauma, then I'd understand that. But it seems like the majority of people, they want to live an average life today. But why? And like, there's so many people that are saying, look at this government that's so horrible. Look at this thing that is so horrible. But at the same time, they're like, oh, but I could never do anything to change that. And they don't even try. And I think that's really just unfair. Unfair to the country, and unfair that you are complaining and complaining and complaining about something, but you're not even taking one step to stop it.
So, are there a lot of people who think that they are not meant to be geniuses?
Mm-hmm. But some people who really want to will make themselves geniuses.
But maybe just they don't know they could make themselves geniuses.
I mean, they're going to, if they want to, they're going to try to develop their skill, their talents, because they love it.
Is it because people don't know that they all could become geniuses, or what? Or people are not told, they are not taught, or they just don't believe?
I don't think they think it's the way. They just don't think about it too much. They don't think, like, maybe if it happens, then it happens, you know? If they, like, whatever goal they have.
People refuse to think.
Yeah, I don't think they believe. I don't think they're taught. And also I think that they just don't want to go out of their comfort zone. And that they just conform to the laws of the world. And they just don't want to be anything special or change anything because they just want their life to be meaningless already. That's just the point to which we've come.
Is it because people are afraid of working hard, paying the price for success?
Yeah, probably. I mean, that's a big factor today. Nobody wants to work hard. They just want to have, things magically come to them.
I think people are especially scared to work hard if there's no guarantee of their success. And people who
But the principle is there that if you work hard enough, you get to success.
Yeah, but like, for example, if you do a business, there's always a big chance of failure. And people who don't know that after failure comes success, especially during the first failure, since they've tried so hard and put everything into it, and they don't want to risk it, want to save their skin, and because they're not taught also. Because if they were taught, then they'd know that failure is a process. But it's not it's not really advertised, it's not told a lot. The value systems of this success comes after failure.
Okay. Let me talk to our viewers now and see. Let me talk to our viewers and see who is there and what they are saying. Hello, everybody. So, what are you guys saying? So, let's hear your feedback. Let's hear your feedback about today's fellowship. I hope you people were able to hear us. And I hope you people were able to follow us. Adebisi is actually, Oyebisi is actually here. Sunday Oyebisi is the one that edited the book for me. And he's saying that this is excellent review by Pearl and Zoe. So, Oyebisi Sunday knows, is my namesake. Okay, Lisa is saying, yes, genius is hard work. You're right. Genius is hard work. If you want to be a genius, just work hard. Okay, Nkiru Ojimadu say very inspiring and insightful. Lion Stoner says it was really great. Molly say we are blessed. By the way, I want to congratulate all of you for DSA TV, 24 hours, 24/7 DSA TV. But maybe we don't know how it works. The way this thing works is that you all must be coming to share the link at least 3 times a day. between 3 to 5 times a day, you must come and share the link. So we need to be coming to share the link of DSA live broadcast. So tell somebody about that. Let's be sharing the link every day, 3 to 5 times a day. Just come in and share the link. You could watch when you are doing your stuff. Put it on, let it play, and that's the whole idea. So, but sometime tomorrow is our day, is our summit. Tomorrow we have summit at 2 o'clock Ukraine time. That's 12 o'clock midday, 12 o'clock in Britain. 12 o'clock midday in Britain, and 7 a.m. Eastern time in America. So tomorrow is a big day talking about thinking and about analytical thinking, about the art of thinking. That is tomorrow, 12 o'clock Ukraine time. Ukraine time 2 o'clock and 12 o'clock British time. 1 o'clock European time, 1 p.m. and 1 p.m. Nigerian time. So, so we'll be happy to see all of you back to, how do I get you on YouTube? It's easy, just Sunday Adelaja Official. Sunday Adelaja Official. We have a live broadcast 24/7 on YouTube, and 24/7 YouTube live broadcast, and also a lot of videos on YouTube. So here we are today. And, now we have to pray. We want to finish our session now with prayers. So, where are you, our cameraman? Yeah. Okay, who is praying today? You did it the other time. Okay, let's start.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you that we got to spend time together, and we've learned from Dad's book and learn more about how to live our lives. Thank you for taking care of us. Thank you for looking after us. Thank you for blessing us so much. Please help us to fulfill our purpose and to through our genius. Help us to live for you. Help us to please you. Help us to bring you glory. Help us to fulfill your will on earth. Help us to change and impact the world in a better way for you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. And we pray the grace.
The grace of the Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the sweet fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our lives, and we shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Amen. I shall not die, but live to declare the works of the Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. I mean to do the will of He who sends me, and to finish His works. Amen. Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because He has anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted and to set the captives free. Amen. Amen.
Father, we thank you because you sent us to this world for a purpose. You sent us to this world for an assignment. Thank you for giving us one of the understandings, the key that we could use, that we need to use to become the best that you want us to be. And that is through developing our geniusness. Father, we submit our minds to you today. We submit ourselves to you today, our spirit, our soul, our body. We submit everything to you today. And we ask you, dear Father, that you will help us to really develop ourselves, not to be in the category of people who don't believe they could become geniuses, not to believe in the lies of the enemy that we cannot become who you say we could become. So, Father, in Jesus' name, we commit ourselves to you, and we say, as we are going to work hard, as we are going to think hard, as we are going to do everything that's written in this book to become the best we could become, and as we are going to be determined to make our world a better place and to leave a legacy, that everybody that has heard us today, and our family and other people's family, DSA family, and all people all over the world, we pray that you help us to really believe it, that we can change the world, to really believe it, that we could make the world a better place, that you really help us, therefore, to go and work hard on ourselves, to go and push ourselves until we are able to bring forth the fruits of righteousness, the fruit of your kingdom, that will really turn this world upside down from the way it's going right now to the way that you want it to be. Let us be able to work hard until the kingdom of God, the kingdom of our Father, comes to have reflection here on the earth. Let us be able to bring forth the kingdom of God in every sphere of life. Father, we pray that you bless everybody that's watching us, everybody that is hearing us, everybody that's going to see this, that you cause them to become agents of your righteousness and of your kingdom promotion, the advancement of your kingdom, and let the kingdoms of this world become the kingdom of our Lord and His Christ. We thank you, Father. Give us a wonderful night's sleep, and all our friends, wherever they are, let your presence be with them. Give them wonderful night's rest as well. And those who are just in the day in America, let your hand be upon them as well, and all over the world. Father, let us be able to really believe you, and that we are the light of this world. We are the salt of the earth, and that we can actually change the world. And we are the ones to change it. No other person. We are the ones, and we're going to do it by your power and grace. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Okay.
Good night. Thank you.
All right, you go, girls. Okay. Let me say good night to our family.
Good night.
Yep.
Good night. Thanks
Yep.
for watching.
Yep. So, yeah, it's good to say good night to you guys as well. If you have not been following Pearl on her blog, and she's actually having Facebook blog. So she has a Facebook. It's called Thoughts of Pearler. Thoughts of Pearler. So you all could go and look for Thoughts of Pearler, and you'll be able to receive new ideas and new reports from Pearl every day on daily basis. Thoughts of Pearler. And of course, please let's support the DSA TV on daily basis by coming to share the link 3 times, to share it 3 times, and let the word spread and let people watch it. Thank you so very much. Tomorrow, 2 o'clock our time, 12 o'clock British time, and 7 a.m. Eastern time in America, 1 o'clock p.m. European time, and Nigerian time, 1 o'clock p.m. We will be live, continue our summit, the summit for DSA Family Summit. So see you people tomorrow. God bless you all. And let's share this link. Let's share this message. I think we should share this message. I think somebody should go and watch this message. So look for the share button in your program. Let's go share it. And let's give the other people the experience to go and, listen to the children, to see parenting, the example of DSA family. God bless you guys. Good night. Bye.